on Sunday morning, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb where Jesus had been buried, and she saw that the stone had been rolled away from the tomb. So she ran to Simon Peter and the other disciple that Jesus loved and said to them, "They've taken the Lord from the tomb, and we don't know where they've put him." Then Peter and the other disciple ran together to the tomb, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and got there first. He bent over and saw the strips of linen cloth lying inside the tomb, but he did not go in. When Simon Peter arrived, he went into the tomb and saw the strips of linen lying there, and the cloth that covered Jesus' face not lying with them, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who got there first, he went into the tomb. He saw and believed. At that time, Peter and the other disciple did not know it was written that Jesus would rise to life. So the two of them went back to the rest of the disciples. But Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she was crying, she bent down, and suddenly she saw two angels inside the tomb, dressed in white, sitting where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. The angels asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" She answered them, "They've taken away my Lord, and I don't know where they've put him." As soon as she said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who are you looking for?" Thinking that he was a gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have taken him away, please tell me where you have put him so I can go and get him." Then Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him, "My teacher." Jesus said, "Don't hold on to me. I have not yet gone to the Father. But go to my disciples and say to them, I am going to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples and announced, "I have seen the Lord, and he gave me a message for you." On Sunday evening, of that same day, as the disciples were hiding behind locked doors because they were afraid of the religious leaders, Jesus came in while the doors were still locked and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he showed him his hands and his side. When the disciples saw the Lord, they were overjoyed. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. I am sending you forth, just as the Father has sent me." After this, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." If you forgive anyone's sins, they will be forgiven. But if you don't forgive their sins, they will not be forgiven. But Thomas the twin, one of the original 12 disciples, was not with the others when Jesus appeared to them. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But Thomas said, "Unless I see the nail holes in his hands and put my finger in the holes, place my hand where the spear went into his side, I will not believe." A week later, the disciples were again together in the room, and this time Thomas was with them. Jesus came in while the doors were still locked and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then Jesus said to Thomas, "Look at my hands. Touch them with your finger. Put your hand into my side. Don't be a person who does not believe. Now believe." And Thomas replied, "My Lord, my God." Jesus said, "Thomas, you believe because you have seen me. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe."